Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Team Kwashi here.
Yeah.
Our second, 10-year anniversary video for
Yeah.
you all. We're very excited and also grateful
Yeah.
what God has done in our lives, in our marital life. 10 years.
Yes.
10 years.
10 years.
And our goal here for these videos, maybe this is the first time you're watching or joining or whatever.
We encourage you to go back.
Yeah, go back.
Yes.
Go back to the first video.
Okay.
But the purpose is that, for our 10-year anniversary, God told us, we wanted to give back to God. And how best way to give back to God is to help somebody else who might just be starting their journey of this blessed union that God has blessed us with, because marriage is very fundamental. It's the heart of God.
It is the very core, like just as I said in the first video, is the very core of the establishment of the human race.
Yes.
And it's the core of society. It's the core, of a nation. Mm-hmm. And it is the core of the world.
Yes.
And it is the core, in the church. Because the church is made up of families. That's why we say, hey, welcome to the family.
Yes.
Because the church is a family.
And it starts off by a husband and wife,
It starts off by a husband and wife,
yes.
because it's just made up of
families and
that,
children.
Families that comes together and forms a congregation. Mm-hmm. So you can see even from the Bible, the Israelites were all made up of tribe. The tribe came together and they became one nation.
Yeah.
Okay, but it all came out from family. The 12, brothers that came out from. So it's very, very important. It's a vital thing for us.
It's a good thing. Marriage is a
marriage
good
is
thing.
And it's essential. It's very needed in our society.
Yes.
In our lives.
In our lives, especially if you are desiring. And so our goal here is to empower, impart, encourage those who are thinking about getting married,
Yes.
that yes, if you have that desire, it is a good thing for you to do. And God will order your steps to find the right husband or wife for you.
Yes.
And it's also good for those who are already married. And just to be encouraged that you can do this. The journey, it seemed long sometimes. It seemed, like just throw it all away because of some of the trials and tribulations we go through as husbands and wives, the transitions of the changes that we go through in marriage when you say I do. Right from the beginning, there's so many things that, and for those who are thinking about we're tired. This is not working out. But if you believe that this was put together by God, and ordained by God, then don't quit. Keep fighting. But your minds have to be made up to stay together.
Your mind have to be made up. And today we just want to talk about the foundation. Okay.
How we started.
It's something. That's why I keep saying, and we not perfect.
Yeah, we're not perfect. We are not.
We're not.
Please, don't get that. We are not here to judge anyone.
Yes, and then we want to say that every marriage
is different. Yes,
it's unique. The uniqueness of Team Kwashi is different from another marriage.
Yes.
So you can't compare ours, but they are core principles or foundations that can never be taken out.
Yes.
Okay? The way you go about yours is going to be different, but the core principles should remain. Okay? God being the foundation.
God being the foundation.
The marriage, the relationship, the friendship must be established on God.
In God. And in His Word.
Yes, because on the solid rock, that's the only way you can stand. Okay? Anywhere else, it's just going to be a sinking sand. Okay? That's why a lot of marriages that were formed out of romance or formed out of just, Romance is good, but just a formal, just like we just want to do something.
Yeah,
God wasn't the foundation. With time, they collapse.
It goes away, right? Because
it collapses
after 4 kids. Certain things.
4 kids. No, even after 1 kid.
1 kid, it's a whole different.
And even some of the marriages that we've heard, just even at the honeymoon, even collapses.
Yes, because they realize that they can't even have a decent
conversation
or agree
and disagree.
Agree.
Yes.
And so today we want to start off that one of the things that really helped us, that both of us are believers.
Yes.
We believe in Jesus Christ. We believe, and so it's easy for us to always go back to God.
Yes.
Even though I might not understand, you might not understand, certain things, but going back to His Word, and then His Word will always straighten us up.
It will. It will, and it's very, very important. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but that is the thing. The yoke, and most of the time people don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
It's like
I'm in love.
I'm in love.
He looks good. He got a good job.
It got what I've been visioning, what I expect, or what I think I want.
Yes.
So most of the time we have this inbuilt pictures or inbuilt expectations.
What you should look like.
Yes, and then we try to put people in, and they're like, this is what I'm thinking of. It's gonna be cool if I'm walking with him or her.
Right.
My friends would just like, wow, but how long would that last?
Right.
How long will that last? And it's amazing, just as you were saying. I remember, this lady, she was so beautiful, and she's still beautiful because God created. But after she got pregnant and gave birth, she was slim, and she just ooh, you see, it's like, wow, life has happened.
And that's life. That's the reality.
That's what we're saying. Life has happened. So if the initial stage was because of the way she looked,
right,
and you went in for her, and now there's been a change, what are you going to do?
Right.
Are you going to look for another one? So these are the things that we want to throw out there, because nobody knows. Nobody knows what happens, especially in childbirth.
Yeah.
Life happens. But that's why we have to have the foundation. The foundation is what keeps the marriage.
Yes.
Either whether you lose your job.
Yes, because you definitely lost your job after we got married.
Yes,
we got married in August 6th, and 2 months later.
Yes.
And I had just moved from Delaware to Worcester, which was a big...
To Massachusetts. Yes.
A big transition.
Yes.
It was kind of scary because, a man would leave his parents and be clinging to his wife.
Yes.
And I left my parents. You were already in Worcester.
Yes.
And having to come...
And clean with me.
And live with you.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like, my goodness, I want to go back to Delaware. Because it was a whole new... marriage gives you that new... It's like, man, what is this right here? Felt kind of lonely.
It is.
Because you walked away from everything you knew, your job, your friends, your family member. So it's a serious matter that your mind has to be set. And made up, and made up. And so because our mind was made up, one of the other things too, foundation-wise was, taking Jonathan going to see my parents. That was a big deal.
It was.
Showing that respect to our parents or whoever.
Yep. And then marriage was supposed to be honorable. And before we talk about, because normally those are taught in marriage ceremonies, but that is kind of, to me, it's too late for you to try to learn from what the pastor is saying at that moment. before you go to your marriage, because that moment your mind is everywhere, thinking about
doing the wedding.
Party.
The wedding.
Yeah. Doing the wedding is too late for those kind of things. Those sermons are basically for people who comes in. To me, that's what I think. But the couples are there, they're talking to them. But at that moment, your mind is on the refreshing. Your mind is on honeymoon. Your mind is everywhere at that moment. Activities just consumes you. But that you have to have that foundation from the beginning, that we're going to honor God with our relationship.
Yes.
Okay. So what we did was we said, hey, we're not going to dishonor God.
Yes, we're going to put God first. And I actually had this rule, and I told you about it. I said to him, I have made up my mind that any man that I meet who comes and, believe that he's supposed to be my husband, if we have any type of sexual relationship, if we have sex, he's not the one, and that's just, you might agree or disagree, but for me, it was something that kept me from staying true to God, to myself, and to what I honor, because it would have dishonored God.
Yes.
And
yes, because what would have happened was we would have invited,
a door would have been open for the enemy.
For the enemy to come in. We don't want to, we're trying to not stay like preaching.
Yeah, we're not talking about we're being real.
But it's real. That we allow, the foundation must be right.
Yes.
Because if you break the foundation, whatever you build on it, with time is going to collapse.
And if you compromise,
if there's a compromise,
anything you compromise
to keep, you will lose.
You will lose eventually.
You will lose eventually. The reason why I'm saying that is I know I've heard stories about marriages. I'm like, they got divorced after marriage for 30 years. I'm like, what? 30 years? You've been through all that? No. But because it doesn't matter how long it would take, if the foundation is not right, on God, and then along the way, no repentance, nothing was done like to fix it. Like, trust God, because the past is past, okay? But there's only God that can go to our past and fix it. It's only God that can step into our situation. Whatever our mess we started the thing, if we commit to Him, He will fix it. So that is the thing. Regardless, don't say, hey, I didn't start right, but it's not too late.
It's not.
Commit it to Him, and He will fix it. He's gonna
already
be fixed.
Fixed it.
It's already fixed.
It's already fixed.
It's already fixed, and then you just go forward. So just what I'm saying, people think of, I'll buy all the gifts, I'll do all the that will keep her.
No.
Trust will come. Trust will come when you have Christ.
When you have Christ and you are trusting God to see you through. Yes. The other thing too that really was very instrumental is our counseling.
Yes.
Going through marriage counseling.
The pre-marriage.
For our church, it was a must. And if you go to a church and it's not a must, I'm pleading with you, find another place where it is a must for you all to go through the marriage counseling, because it's a godly, and you have to be led with a pastor who, first of all, honors marriage. Their relationship, their marriage is an example that you can testify and say that, because there are some people who do things, they do the counseling,
they don't practice it.
They don't practice it.
They don't live that life.
But our spiritual father, then he literally opened our eyes to our debt when we came together, which is a big deal. People don't talk about that. They don't talk about, we sat there talking about our student loan, my student loan, because he didn't have any. Okay.
What I had was nothing. As compared to hers.
Yes, and really,
because I did all my school back in Africa, but she had a lot of debt here.
Student loan. Everybody know about them student loans.
Yes, this is not a credit card. We're talking about student loan, because she didn't even have one credit card.
It's a big deal.
It is, because what becomes is, after we get married, a debt becomes mine.
You know,
my debt becomes her
because
debt.
we're one.
We are
We're
one.
one. And so we had that agreement and
yes.
that mindset.
So if we didn't have that from the counseling for us to talk about it and get me prepared for it, because I was the one receiving that, get me prepared for it.
Yes.
You know, because otherwise it's going to be like a surprise. After you get married, it's like you have a debt to pay. You know, then you know how, you know, student loans are. So it's going to be like, what did I find myself in, or what did I put myself in? You know, so those are the things, if you don't have or you don't get from the beginning, it grows and then it becomes an argument in the home.
How many children do you all want to have? Do you want to have kids? You don't want to have kids, you know?
They have to be.
How are your finances? You know, some people don't know how to manage their finances, but they're getting into marriages. These are the questions that the counseling brings out to you, both of you, for you to be able to talk about. Little things like, what if you don't know how to cook? Or, you know, who's going to, I remember one of our things was who's going to clean the bathroom. That was a big question that was asked. And I was thinking, to me, we all going to clean the bathroom. All of us going to clean the bathroom. And I remember you looked at me and was like,
you know, it's a duty to do that.
The duty comes in. It's both of us.
Yes.
Because we're in this together. Our house, our bills, you know, and I think that God really worked on both of us.
He did.
Yeah.
He sure did. It's amazing. It's amazing because those are the things, because all of us were coming from different backgrounds.
Yes.
So those are
and the culture, the expectation. We came in, and that is, we're going to talk about expectations. We have to talk about expectation.
We will.
Well, what are you bringing into the marriage? What is your expectation? Your duty, you know. So our next thing we're going to talk about is going to be on the expectations that we bring into marriage. And so our time is way fast spent, you know.
I said 10 minutes, but we're going 17 minutes.
17, so, you know, forgive us. We are praying and decreeing that this is being helpful to you. This is our gift to you as we celebrate our 10 years anniversary, our blessed union. And the next, 110 years until Jesus come. What God is going to be doing with us and using us for. But we love you so much. We are praying for you, decreeing that the protection and the wisdom of God will be upon you, your home, your marriage. In the mighty name of Jesus, we declare it done. Maybe you are seeking marriage. We are declaring that God will order your steps and to find the peace. Until he or she come, you have the peace. The peace.
And when you find the right one, that peace will remain. And that will be the confirmation that this is it.
In Jesus' name.
The peace. In Jesus' name. So we're looking forward, and even as, you know, God downloads into us, we also bring it out, because we don't want to be like preaching.
Yes.
You know,
but we just want to express and impart and let encourage you know that is doable.
This is what we had. This is how we are living, and this is how far He has brought us. You know, because I think people think, you know, they see people, you know, but they think it's all it is, but we gotta work it. We gotta work it.